Aisha and the others unknowingly separated from the left wing, completely merged with Haruheim's reserve team and the others, and then unexpectedly prepared to regroup with the tomb front. That was the location of Tsubaki's central army and the others who were all wiped out. And there is a position that will not block Hedin's ray. It's very well done. But that's how it should be. He was the first to foresee the situation and made preparations for Hedin's defection. To be precise, it was Hedin who made her make such preparations. He had given the signal beforehand. Pushing the Freya family base camp to a more advanced position, the Cinderellas, who had their stomachs full, revealed the possibility of betrayal that only the commanders who were also on site could understand. It's not that he's very optimistic about someone he hasn't met a few times. It's just that he trusts that braver behind it. If you were taught by that brave man, you should be able to detect him. Hedin even took advantage of this. Finn says to teach Lily this intelligence. In no way was there any prior collusion with Finn. This is Hedin's dictatorship. Ultimately, for the faulty plan to succeed, it must deceive both the enemy and one's own side, and it is impossible to share it with others. If Hedin and Lily secretly plotted, they would definitely be discovered by the cunning Alan and the others. So, on the other side of the mirror, the villain's hero sensed everything and smiled alone. Lilaruka Arti. She probably started with the reason for me to preserve my spiritual power and finally realized the possibility of betrayal. Except for the first shot that took away Daphne and Lily's shock, for the rest of the time, Hedin deliberately did not release bombardments. The subsequent devastations were delivered to Hogni and the others, and because of this moment, mental power was preserved. Lily was probably afraid of the bombardment that could be launched at any moment, but she also felt that she had no intention of firing again. She put all the elements together and realized that destiny here. While resisting the enormous pressure, she still maintained speculations without conclusive evidence to use Hedin. Lily would be so decisive. In the end, he pushed her, but Hedin naturally didn't know that. Past. I admit it. Little one, you are very capable. You are much smarter than that stupid rabbit. Hedin sent the best compliment. If the boy heard it, he might cry and fall to the ground, and straightened the position of his glasses. Not only Lily, he knew it was offensive, but the main goddess Freya, he also took advantage of the sudden command to switch targets. It could be said that thanks to this, he made Alan stay away from the main battlefield. If it was Hedin's instruction, it would definitely cause dissatisfaction. At worst, he might suspect Hedin of rebellion. Including the gale wind, reinforcements, the opportunities, came like an avalanche, and he didn't let any of them go. Make choices from a large number of options and completely control the current battle situation in your hands. Just at this moment, more than half of the faction's coalition forces have been sacrificed. Even if the damage is calculated, the situation is still disadvantageous. The greater the reward, the greater the risk. Hedin had to make a big gamble. Freya Familia is so powerful. However, capable people remained. Hestia Familia, and so on, there are still cards in the hand that can decide the outcome. So, the chances of winning still exist. To fulfill my expectations and to make you aware of your expectation, let me help you. Work hard, adventurers. Hedin extremely angry. But the one who cannot be betrayed, although it is annoying, but his loyalty is not questioned, the subject has become a traitor. The quadruplet's anger easily crossed the line. The lightning bolts that came one after another still impeded this side. What is most critical is the faction lifeline. All the Cinderellas were exterminated. The scales tip. Hedin's crimes are numerous. The four brothers let out a roar that both the enemy and the allies trembled in their hearts, ignoring the faction and coalition forces, and were about to launch an attack on the hateful white elf. Feeling the impact from behind, the four Gulliver brothers had to stop. "What time is it again?" They turned around abruptly, looking very anxious, and it was some black shadows that responded. "You are a partner of justice now. You have to use all your strength to ride in the righteous family. How can there be a justice partner like you?" Deep within the raised dust, the shadow of a demi-human playing with a dagger kept shaking. The human shadow pulled out its fist that was deeply rooted in the ground and stood up. The wind that flowed into the huge depression blew away the sand and dust, and the group of people that appeared on the stage appeared. "I'll pay what I owe you, little brothers." Lunoa fast slammed her right fist into her left palm and roared loudly. After their declaration of war, cheers from Chloe and other cat people resounded far and wide. "That's Lunar-sama, Chloe-sama. These people, are they from the tavern?" Haruheim, who was still transparent, was scared at first, and then Aisha was also taken by surprise. The four Gulliver brothers dropped their words in disgust. "All the tavern employees are here." They did not wear uniforms the color of new leaves, but their respective battle suits. Luna wore a jacket and scarf that exposed her midriff, and Chloe wore a short cape with a hood. Including the others, they all held obviously unusual weapons, exuding a complete fighting spirit. Reinforcements. After Ryu, there are still more. Lily also saw the fabulous lady appearing in the southeast of the main battlefield. Needless to say, Lunar and the others at level 4, the other tavern employees also exude an aura that is not inferior to senior adventurers. Here they come. Residents of the Taberna Maze Forte, in Cidade do Labirinto. Both the enemy and comrades suffered heavy losses. This is already a race. We're completely late. It's all due to a stupid cat who doesn't know where. Chloe looked around, wagging her tail slowly, while Lunar lifted the corners of her mouth. Not long after, a Catwoman came out from behind the group. "I'm back. My old home, Freya family." Golden shoulder pads shining in the sun, spears carved with golden details. Seeing this figure they had seen before, the remaining strong warriors chatted a lot. Half-wheel carriage. Anya Fromel. Surprised voices all turned towards former member Anya. And this chaos also spread to the east of the island, away from the main battlefield. Lord Alan. In the light of the lightning that has been incessant now, it is truly Hedin who gave his companion to death. That worm. What is he thinking? At base camp. Upon hearing the information brought back by the scouts who rushed to the center of the island and rushed back, Alan was furious, and after hearing the follow-up report, his face changed even more. "And, we also found the reinforcements of the host of fertility. Among them is the figure of the half-chariot wheel." All the strong warriors gasped, and he held the silver spear with strength that seemed to break it, looking west. "That's it, slow down." The warriors who symbolized the hell of the past, their eyes pierced Anya's body. "Somewhere on the island, my older brother must have discovered this too, and I fear he will be rejected like wildfire." Anya, who was surrounded by her own broken heart, but continued to look forward without shyness. "It's just an abandoned cat. Why don't you give up? You weren't discouraged by Mr. Allen and Freya, weren't you, Mrs. Sear?" The blood relatives dealt another blow. Goddesses expose secrets in their worst form. Hearing the insults and accusations made by Alfred between the four brothers, Anya nodded obediently. "It's disheartening. No, my heart was broken into pieces and turned into a mess. I don't understand it all." In a quiet, somewhat lonely voice, Lunar and Chloe said nothing. "But, I won't be confused anymore." However, she changed her previous look and looked forward forcefully. "Look beyond the Gulliver brothers." He looked in the direction of the House of God, on the westernmost side of the island where a girl was supposed to be. Anya showed a grim expression, letting her determination spread across the entire battlefield. Time travels in time. In another place in time. What are you doing here, trash goddess? What's the matter? This isn't a tavern. Before the start of the war game. In the tavern with the closed sign, a god is sitting in front of the counter, leaning against his face with one hand, drinking. Needless to say, it was Loki. Besides her, only the owner of the store remains, that is, the owner Mia.